Well, I made another purchase off Whatnot. Actually, I made another one yesterday as well from Silver Bar Stacker. He shows some of the coolest stuff on his channel, or on his Whatnot auctions. This is a Johnson Matthey Liberty Trade Bar. He was selling these on his Whatnot auction, and then he also showed these. He's got a sheet of 10 of these in the original mint seal. This is, I just pulled out of a junk bin at a LCS. So it's got dings and scratches on it. These things, Johnson Matthey, these things are pretty cool. They have a pretty high premium. 210 I think was going to trade me something for this one. Since I'm not a Montana guy, I like the art bars better. And so, what was I going to do? Oh yeah, I found two partial tubes of American Silver Eagles, so I combined them into one. This is a good way to stack, or to just add to your stack 1 ounce at a time. I need to get a different arm for my camera so it's not making you all motion sick. But I give away American Silver Eagles to the kids at Christmas and on their birthdays. So every year I have to buy 1 tube of American Silver Eagles. I don't have to, but I do. And then I'll give away half of them for birthdays and Christmas. And then so I'll have a half a tube. And then the next year I'll buy another tube of that current year. And then give away half of them, and then fill the tube back up. So all my tubes, somebody else had asked, do I mix dates on my tubes? And I'm like, yeah, I don't really care what the dates are. If they're factory mint sealed, I'll just leave them sealed. But I was able to get a whole monster box of American Silver Eagles just by buying 1 American Silver Eagle at a time sometimes. Sometimes I'd buy a tube. Like back in 2008, I was buying tubes once every couple weeks for a few months. And then when silver ran dry, around 2009, 2010, I would go, me and my buddy, we'd go to every coin shop in Portland. Every single one. Not a single ounce of silver. Because it was going through the roof, everybody's panic buying it. Two as one was mentioning that silver was everywhere where he was, but in Portland, we would go from coin shop to coin shop to coin shop to find silver. It was nowhere. It was always sold out. They would say as soon as it comes in, the next guy comes in and buys it all. It's really incredible how that works. And so during those times I was buying vintage stuff. I would buy vintage things like this. I got this from Silver Bar Stacker because there weren't any American Silver Eagles. And the Silver Eagles, the premiums on those weren't too crazy back then, if I remember right. But I would buy this stuff, things like this, and I called it ugly silver. So in 2014, I made a huge mistake and sold a lot of my vintage stuff because I wanted to use the money for another purpose. And so I sold all the stuff that I called ugly. And that, back then, nobody cared about vintage. That was literally ugly silver. You bought it, that was the cheapest silver you could buy. It was cheaper than generic 1 ounce buffaloes. And so anyway, this is a Whatnot auction. I mentioned last time when I did my Silver Bar Stacker unboxing of this bar here, which I got for a good deal. $40 including shipping for a vintage Engelhart with the I can't remember if it's frosted back or linen back, but it's got the gap between the serial number prefix and the number. Large gap here. And so I think the day I got that, I went on to a different stream, just a random stream, and I'd mentioned that video. There's some pretty weird people asking some weird prices for stuff. And so there was a guy, I can't remember the name of his channel, but he had 21 boxes. They're mystery boxes. And inside 20 of them are silver dimes, and inside one of them was, I think, a 1 ounce silver round of a premium silver round. So 20 people got the shaft and 1 person got the goods. So you would bid, he'd started at buck and go, and I ended up paying way too much for this. I paid $43 for this just because I'm like, I want to see what it is, see how this works. And I was just in and out. So they say a fool and his money are soon parted. You're going to witness this fool, how he parted with his money for whatever's in this bag. So don't do what I do a lot of times unless I tell you. So we'll see what we got here. Let's see what's on the note. Oh, it's $39. Surprise set number 3. Oh, it was 100 gram silver was the 100 gram breakable silver and 21 silver dimes. So you had a 1 in something chance. Some of the bids were going for 35. They're pretty much around spot. I paid 39. And let's see what I got. There's not 100 grams in there. So what I ended up getting for $39 is 1 silver dime. So you got to watch what you're doing on whatnot, and I guess this can be a lesson, a teachable moment for people. I don't mind doing this, A, for YouTube content, and B, to show people, hey, pay attention to what you're doing. And I don't go for the mystery stuff very often. I mean, if it's a mystery 1 ounce something, 1 ounce piece of bullion, I'd pay up for it just because it's kind of fun. But when the other prizes are a $3 dime, then it's not that great of a deal. Let me delete this, or disarm that, or do that. So here's my $39 dime. Let me know if you've seen some weird stuff on Whatnot. The seller seemed all right, but it's one of those sellers that I guess that says, well, this should be oh, here's an A mark. This should sell for $50. This is a $50 item right here. Go ahead and bid. This is going for $35, $40, $36. This should be $50. Now should be $2 over spot. So there's a lot of that kind of stuff on Whatnot. So you do have to be careful. And I'm pretty comfortable showing you what not to do. What not? Hey, I just added 2 and 2 to get 4. Now I know why they call it what not. So you can see what not to do. Anyway, I've got a vintage silver purchase from Silver Bar Stacker, which I think was a great deal, but very high premium, at least for me. I mean, for other people, I mean, I basically got it for $50 an ounce, yet I've seen them selling for over $100 an ounce. So if it's a collectible, and I'll just show it to you on the channel when it comes in. Really excited to get it, and I think I'm going to have a little history with it as well. So it's pretty cool. These are the vintage stuff I got from the local coin shop here. Well, actually not here in Grand Rapids. This is in Lansing, but these were like $2.50 over spot for all this stuff, for each one of these. And so that's normally what I go for. Oh, and then about a week from now, there's a coin show in Kalamazoo, and I'm going to do an interview down there of a dealer that just specializes in vintage. So that'll be super fun. If you're interested in vintage silver and collectibles, then you won't want to miss that. So we've been talking a bit, and I'm going to do at least one interview with him, maybe a couple, on different topics. So that'll be kind of fun. Anyway, that's about it. You saw my Hail Mary pass. Who knew? I thought I knew it was going to be like pretty much impossible that I was going to get the 100 gram Valcambi Skyline bar, the breaker bar, or breakable thing. I kind of want to get one, but it is what it is. So I usually recommend, if you're going for stuff, go for collectible things, or just regular plain old generic stuff. Just the generic cheapest stuff you can find. Especially when you're starting out, you should be getting just cheap, cheap, cheap. And then once you learn about stuff, you can go down these rabbit holes and try and find some collectibles as investments. And actually, that brings up a point. Somebody had commented on my video. Let's see, where is he? Cap WB commented, said, what's the reason for investing? Well, actually, I'll do a separate video about that. Anyway, I gotta go. Rambling. I need more coffee. And check out the single heart I got for $3 over spot. Bam. 1984 Prospector. Anyway, gotta go. Talk to you soon.